Welcome to Goodnight, Robin, your someone to say goodnight to. I'm your host, Robin Rice. Ho, 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 it is Christmas Eve. I apologize if you don't celebrate Christmas. In my family, we celebrate Christmas, and my adult kids are here, and they're both single, so we're just kind of hanging out. We've got another friend with us, but other than that, it's just us, and we're totally not, make a big dinner food things. It's, we're having a good time, but we just have lots of food out and that sort of thing. But I am aware, and I'm thinking of those of you who don't have what you would consider your people around you, whether you have people or not. They might not be your people, or you may have lost someone. I know last year I was, the kids were with me, but I was in Palm Springs instead of where I live now, and I had a hard time with it. I had things I could do, but it just didn't feel right. I didn't feel at home. And now I really feel at home. I love being where I am. But I am remembering and I am aware that some of you may not have that feeling, that holiday feeling. And especially if you don't celebrate, the holiday and the rest of the world is celebrating. And theoretically, everybody's out there with their families and having a wonderful time. And isn't it beautiful and all Hallmarky and all that kind of stuff? And we know that that's not really how it is. Almost everyone, if you actually think back to the last holiday that you shared with your family, you might realize that it wasn't exactly perfect. There was all kinds of stuff going on and dramas here and there. And that's just inevitable in a family, right? But in our heads, we have this picture that it's going to be perfect, that it's perfect for other people, that everybody else is happy. I remember one Christmas that was particularly challenging for me because my kids were little and it was the first Christmas that they were going to be with their dad for Christmas, and I didn't have them with me. And I was single at the time and I didn't have anyone in my life, and it just felt terrible. And I went to a friend's house, which was so nice to be invited to a friend's house. You're that person, but there were a lot of people there. And everyone started going around the table and said, well, it was Christmas Day. And they said, well, what was your favorite present of today? And my heart dropped because I didn't want to say that I hadn't gotten any yet. I was going to have, celebrate with my kids later, and I would get one, but I didn't have one. And I remember just, dreading. And then finally, when it came my turn, they said, well, what was your favorite, present today, Robin? I was just honest. And I said, I didn't get one yet today. I'll get one soon when my kids come back, but they're gone right now and I didn't get one. And I actually had tears in my eyes. And I guess I made everybody uncomfortable a little bit. I'm sure I did. But I think they actually also appreciated that that was just true. And I was there. And, the next person started talking about what they got for Christmas, and it was very nice. And it's not all about what you get for Christmas, but when you're the odd man out on that or odd woman out, it doesn't feel so great. But you know what? I look back at that Christmas now, I look back at that time, and I think even in a really difficult situation, I chose to be honest. I could have faked it. I could have said, I got this, that, or the other, but that's just not who I want to be in the world. And so as you move through your Christmas, as you move through your holiday or not holiday, I wonder if you could just be a little more you. And I'm going to be a little more me. And together we can be imperfect, and we can have imperfect holidays and have imperfect relatives and have imperfect conversations and get imperfect presents and give imperfect presents, and just let that be. Let that be. I also remember one year that I did a gift exchange. I created a gift exchange among women who weren't going to get a present for the year. We have that all the time for children. Make sure they get their presents and that sort of thing. But I just put it out on social media and I said, if you didn't have a gift this year, or don't expect to get a gift rather, and you would like one, send me an email. And if you would like to give someone a gift, then send me an email for that. And I think that year, this was a decade ago or so now, but we got maybe 35 or 40 people together to do this exchange. And of course, I was nervous, like, what if they don't actually send something? What if, I don't want to disappoint people. But, I took the risk. And that was amazing. The stories that I got for the people who got together, the women who got together, they loved buying a present for someone. They loved shipping it, wrapping it, and they loved receiving it. And it really made a difference. So once again, you're going to hear this from me probably way too often on all these things, but do something. Wrap a gift and go give it to someone on the street. I've done that too. Offer yourself in some way to the world. And you might not have someone to say goodnight to or to say Merry Christmas Eve to tonight, but you will have something that you can feel good about. And so I just encourage that. Anyway, those are my stories for tonight. I kind of wonder sometimes if I'm going to run out of stories here. But until I do, this is what we have. Good night, my friends. I hope you sleep with the angels. I hope Santa Claus, in the spirit of Santa, comes and visits you in your dreams at least. Sleep well.